Alright, people.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
See you later. Am I hearable? Am I seeable? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, one-arm push-ups. I'm going to be doing some one-arm push-ups. So let's have a look who's on. Let's see who's here. Vegan Mooncat! Early! Oh my god. What's up? Did you piss the bed? Vegemite Codbod? Yeah, me too. Oh my word. Have you got not got any lives to go to, you lot, or what? The real thing. Early in the arrivals lounge, I see. Refreshments, I think. Yeah, why not? Why not? Vegan Pixie Warrior. What's up, Beans? Oh. Thank you. £5 super chat. What can you recommend for menopausal women trying to lose weight? Well, we'll have to ask the question when my guest appears because there's no sign of Korin yet. Is he going to let me down? I know Tony is on a call for the next 30 minutes, so he'll be along later. Michael Askew. Hello, vaccine twin with the Teo Klim for the win. Refreshments are definitely in the order of the day. Lovely bit of Klim. Glass of the old Teo Klim to hit the spot. Muddy Paws. You still haven't sent me a photograph. Scrolling down. Oh, Katia Marinova, how are you? Are you still holding the fort? Are you still battling to keep that flat of yours? 40-year-old vegan, how are you, sir? How's Canada? Yeah, I'm going to do some one-arm push-ups for you. You think I'm falling for that one, Mooncat? You've got another thing coming. For the moment, yeah, for the moment. Because Korin is quite a busy man. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got a message here. Let's see. Let's just let me mute this a second because we don't know what. Okay. I'm having problems again. Am I still on? Am I still on? I won't forget your super chat. But listen, I've heard a few things about soy being good for menopausal women because it promotes estrogen and it stabilizes hormones. So that might be one of the answers you're looking for, vegan pixie warrior. But again, when it comes down to it, it's all about calories in, calories out at the most. Yeah, I'm back now, Mooncat. I'm back. If you're here just to troll me, just go away. Hello, Paul Hansen. How are you? Oh, Paul is good. Yeah, Mooncat's trying to. I'm back. I have. Oh, yeah, I am here because Vegan Pixie Warriors is on it. I have a shit ton of soy. Yeah, apparently soy is good. Even though people try and rubbish it and say that soy makes you into a soy boy, when it's the complete opposite. We all know it's dairy that does that because it's mammalian estrogen that mimics our own estrogen and causes problems in men and problems in women. Who's got chocolate? Have you eaten all that chocolate yet? Have you got chocolate, Gwen, and you're not sharing? Come on, my man. In the meantime, those of you who don't know Korin, I'm going to put up his Instagram. I'll share the screen. So he is actually a online trainer. I think he's actually doing chefing school at the moment. He's learning to be a chef as well, but he also does lots of hacks. And these are some of the transformations that is. I mean, he does some great transformations, but there's a lot of work involved. There's Korin himself. Yeah, I spent a year under the guidance of Korin. Oh, look at that. That is a hell of a transformation. That is amazing. And of course, Korin is a vegan nutritionist. So, yeah, he's got a lot of experience, and I managed to lose and lose about 3 stone, 2 stone, something like that. Get down to 10% body fat under Korin. It took 12 months, and it was a hard slog. But what we're going to hopefully be talking about, if Korin comes along, is the best way to do this gradually, quickly, best exercises. Just let me see if I can do a call. Are you going to answer, Korin? We shall see. So, anybody, what's that? I'd like to chain him up. Yeah, I don't know. Pixie Warrior. Gawain, you must have amazing willpower. What, not to eat that chocolate? And hopefully, a little later. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here a little bit. I'm just thinking. I'm just checking on a few things just to see if Korin's answered his. Oh, I think yes, Korin has finally answered a text, so hopefully he'll be coming on soon. Also, Tony Drake, coaching by Drake. I'm going to share the screen and let you have a look at Tony. Tony's been on my channel before as well. And we've had a chat. This guy lost an absolute shit ton of weight. He did it all himself. And now he's spreading the word. He's spreading the joy. And yeah, he's doing a really, really good job. He's educating himself. He's teaching online. He's a grafter, just like Korin. He's a bloody grafter. Let me see if I've got any of his before. Oh, there we go. Here's a before and after. This is Tony before, and next to him is Tony after. And what a transformation that was. And again, it's down to the plant-based diet. It's all down to the plant-based diet. But also Tony's a big vegan activist, as is Korin. Big vegan activist. He does a lot for the animals. He's got a beautiful little family who is bringing up vegan. I think that's his daughter. Isn't she beautiful? It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, Korin. Korin's waiting in something. 1 second. I think we have some technical issues here. Or 1 second. I think what Korin's done is used his own app. He's using his own app to contact me when I asked him to come on StreamYard. Who's so northern? Who's so? Yeah, 10 watching and 1 thumbs down. Yeah, we like a thumbs down. We like a thumbs down. Thumbs down doesn't do any harm. We're all open to criticism. Yeah. It doesn't matter. What does it matter? Someone hits thumbs down. If they don't like what I'm saying. You knob. What? I'm going to stop talking with the northern accent now. I'm going to be completely non-northern. Okay? So, for the rest of this stream, I am not going to be northern. I'm going to be nothing. Bloody nothing. You hear? Right, hopefully, Korin will be coming on very soon because he's on a different application. But I can't share that on YouTube. Jose Rezo, am I late to the party? No, you're not actually. You're not late to the party. We're just getting started. We've got a few issues with my guests. Hopefully he's going to sort it out, Korin, pretty soon. Oh yes, still northern. I know it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to not talk in your own accent. Just try not talking in your accent. Yeah, let me just send a message to Korin again. This is what we've got to do. This is how we've got to communicate sometimes. And hopefully he will come on. Yeah, so what's happening, people? So who, over this last 12 months, has put a bit of weight on? Grumpy vegan granddad to do the American accent. Offer him a tenner if he comes. False pretenses. He's messaged him offering a tenner if he comes on for 5 minutes. Yeah, it costs more than that. Mooncat. Right. This is why you should never. Right. This is why you should never give anybody your phone number of your YouTuber. Okay. This is. And who's that off? Oh, it's Mark Mooncat. Mark Mooncat. Oh, hang on a minute. What's going on here? I think I've got an issue with this, you know. Because he's not showing up in the... Just 1 second, folks. Don't you just love it when things fall apart? Let's try that. The thing is, don't panic. Nobody panic. Let's try that. I wonder if it's because I clicked off it before. I might have to I might have to end it and start the stream. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm really sorry about that, Korin.
No problem, man.
Do you know what's happened? What I've done is I accidentally clicked off the stream, then clicked back on it. So I think it puts another one in tandem.
Oh,
and so
okay.
you were waiting on that one, and I was like, oh my God, where is it? I thought it wasn't like you to let me down, Korin.
Yeah.
So, my friend, I've already shown everybody your Instagram page. I've reminded people what you actually do. For those who don't know Korin and how me and Korin actually know each other, Vegan Pixie Warrior's going to go mad on this one. We actually met on a TV show on BBC One called Veganville. And they flew Korin over because he entered the Wales bodybuilding competition and showed them all up. He just showed all them meat eaters up and smashed their asses. But that's how me and Korin met, and then for the 12 months following the filming of that, 2 years ago now, isn't it, Korin?
Yeah, been 2 years.
2 years now. 2 years in April, weren't it? Korin kindly offered to train me for free, because this is his business. This is what he does to earn a living. He does online training and nutrition. And I believe you're actually learning, getting an official chef qualification now. Is that right?
Yeah, still working on it. But like I'm already created like a cookbook that people could use, with my
Really?
program. It's called Macro Mastery. Yeah.
Macro Mastery. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And is this book available to anybody, or do they have to be on your course? Can people buy this, or?
Yeah, they could buy it on my website at bodyhdfitness.com. It's pretty good. Pretty good work.
Right.
Pretty good cookbook. You can make your macros, create your own meal plan, and then you have tons of like over 70 macro-friendly meals that's 100% vegan to help you out. And then also at the same time, it has video content for all the recipes. So if you're too lazy to read or whatever, you can always watch the videos, and the videos will show you how to actually make the meals.
So if people go on, so is this the site bodyhdfitness.com?
Yep.
Yeah. So and the download is on there somewhere. So
in the shop.
In the shop.
Yeah.
I see. Right. So what would it be under? Education, home workout, equipment, supplements, education.
Yeah, education.
Right Macro Mastery. There it is. Oh, so it's only 10 quid. It's only a tenner. 70 fast meal prep hacks, and I know your recipes are quick, really quick. And that's the key, because a lot of us have got busy lives. And like myself, I'll come home from work now. I'm rushing around like an idiot. I've just had a protein shake because that's the quickest thing to do. But you need more than that. You need something nice to eat, don't you? And
and that's why I created it, because a lot of people that I work with, they have busy lifestyles. A lot of people work, so they want when people want something to eat, everyone wants something that's quick, fast, and convenient. So this is why I made this, because it's a combination between those two. It's all the meals are very fast and easy to make. Nothing's no longer than 15 to 20 minutes to make. And then and pretty much that's it. And they're all good foods, and especially something that's going to really help you achieve your fitness goals. So that's why I created it, because most vegan cookbooks, especially the ones I've seen, they're not macro friendly. That's number one. And then number two, they take hours to make. Like you'll be following like a vegan chef or a foodie. They come out with some recipes. They come out with a cookbook. You buy that cookbook and you realize every single meal has complex ingredients, things that you don't even buy or eat normally. And then the second thing, all the meals take more than 45 minutes or more to make, So when you see it, it ends up becoming a paperweight. And every time I ask people about recipes, I'm like, how many cookbooks do you have in your kitchen? They'll be like, oh, I have like one from this chef, one from another. And I'm like, have you made any of those meals? A lot of people say no. It's just there. It's just sitting there in the kitchen as a weight.
What's the website called? It's called bodyhdfitness.com. I'll tell you what I'll do. I might put it on the banner underneath. So what I'll do is I'll change this banner. www.bodyhdfitness.com, and we'll have that scrolling across the bottom. There we go. We've got it. Right, so I've had a super chat, Korin. Now, I don't know. I've sort of mentioned this to Vegan Pixie Warrior. She sent me a £5 super chat for this question, and it's directed at women who seem to be going, what can you recommend for a menopausal woman trying to lose weight, even though she's done it with 2 hours because she's a numbnuts? Now, I've suggested that soy is good for balancing out hormones, because when a woman goes through menopausal, it's an imbalance in hormones as well, isn't it? So have you got any sort of advice for that, or is it out of the realms of your knowledge as well?
When it comes to the foods and weight loss, it really doesn't matter what stage in life you're at. It really goes down to what can help you lose the weight, which is going to be a caloric deficit. You could be menopausal, you could have thyroid issues, you could have any type of issues. But at the end of the day, everything's going to boil down into being in a caloric deficit. That means you have to be burning more calories than what you're consuming. Now, if you have certain type of allergens towards certain foods, yeah, obviously you want to stay away from that. But overall, you need to be in caloric deficit. So I always say that if you're not losing weight now, it's because you're not in a deficit. As simple as that. So the only way you'll know you're in a deficit is, first you need to start tracking your foods. Okay. There's an application on your Apple Store or App Store, which is called MyFitnessPal. This is something that I have all my students use. And this is an online fitness journal where you can record all the meals that you're actually consuming. And it's very easy to use. It's user-friendly. It's so user-friendly. You can even take pictures of the food and it will tell you the calories of the foods. That's a new feature that they came out a couple months ago. But you can also scan the foods as well, or type it in. And it will tell you exactly all the nutrients that food has and the calories and the macronutrients as well. So this is something that's going to really help you out.
Definitely, because I've used this and it's amazing. And the scan option on your phone, you just scan the barcodes, and I must admit, 99 times out of 100, it is absolutely spot on. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, what I never realized, Korin, because of course I was a lean bodybuilder, so nothing I didn't really have to track calories, although I should have done, because it didn't matter. I wasn't bothered about losing weight. I was more concerned with gaining weight. But what I've come to realize is that nobody knows how many calories they are eating in a day without tracking them. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible to know.
And you might think you're only having a few calories a day, but you might be eating very calorific rich foods and eating way more than you should. So what does this say? I just tried to buy the book, but no shipping to the UK. Oh, Korin, you need to get on that, mate.
It's an ebook, so it's supposed to be downloaded.
It's an ebook, Vegan Pixie Warrior. Can you check that out for me, darling, please? So it should be downloadable.
Yeah. Especially if you do it through your desktop. It works better if you all buy it through your desktop.
Right. So, guys, we're going to chat for a little bit. But if any of you have any questions, because Korin, you're only with me for an hour, aren't you, mate?
Yeah.
You're only with me. So, Corin's got a shoot at about 6 p.m. Our time. So, if you've got any questions on exercise, diet, macros, or anything else about life in general, eating, calories, etc., that even if you feel dumb asking, ask us, because that's what we're here for. We help you to help you lose that lockdown fat that we're all sort of absorbing. I've got what's this? Often the hormonal changes go into effect where you store your weight rather than directly causing gain. How you hold your weight can be manipulated more by the exercise you do. What's your thoughts on that, Korin?
There's no such thing as spot training. So let's say you hold a lot of weight, like a lot of body fat in your legs or something, and because you have cellulite. If you do a bunch of deadlifts, it doesn't mean that you're going to make the cellulite disappear. The thing is that how you hold weight is based off your genetics. So it could play a part of the hormones, but it doesn't mean that you do specific exercises to try to get rid of the fat, because fat is fat and muscle is muscle. So when you try and lose body fat, how you lose the fat is depending on your genetics. So for example, if you're someone who's like more Caucasian, you might hold a lot of body fat around the stomach. That's just genetics.
So what you're saying, white people have got fat bellies? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. And then when it comes down to like Hispanics, like Hispanic people, they mostly hold a lot of body fat in the legs, like on the lower half.
Really? Is this a thing, Korin? I find this amazing. Wow.
It is a thing. So like, and this is just like generalizing. It's not like specific for every single Hispanic or Caucasian person, but generalizing, So it's like, that mostly. So, and everyone has their thing. Like for me, I mostly hold a lot of body fat in the stomach and the back. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm going to hold the most body fat. Is mostly going to be on the upper part of my body.
Okay, so she's added on to something here. I don't know who Vegan Something is. They have said that's more to do with the menopause question. You can tone up areas which are now holding weight where you used to not. So yeah, what they're actually saying is to do with more the menopause, that women start storing fat in certain places due to the menopause. Maybe. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, like I said, body fat's body fat. It doesn't really matter where it's storing. You just want to get rid of it, right? Let's get to the final goal. Let's get to the answer, right? So the answer is like, if it doesn't matter where it's going to store. If you're trying to lose body fat, you're trying to lose body fat. That's it. Particularly don't care where it's at. The goal is to lose fat, right? So if that's the goal, then you have to be in caloric deficit. So that's what's going to help you get to the goals where you need to be. And like I said, spot training is in existence. So it's like I said, if you have cellulite in the legs, doesn't mean to do more squats to get rid of the fat. That's not going to help you get rid of the fat. The caloric deficit is going to help you get rid of the fat because the food plays 80%. It plays more than the exercise. So that's how that works. So you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose the body fat. When it comes to the exercising, what you do, that's not really going to play that much of a role to get rid of the fat. Because when you do the exercise, it helps you burn more calories, but it's also going to help you burn more, build more muscle mass. But what's going to play the biggest role is that caloric deficit, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And this is the thing. She's managed to get the book, so you've had a sale here. I'll take my usual 25% commission. 40-year-old vegan says, what's your go-to meal post-workout, Korin?
Right now it's nothing that special. I've been doing mostly like smoothies for a post-workout. So mostly a kale smoothie. So like something very, very basic. It's not even like that interesting. Just kale, a lot of kale, like a whole bunch of kale, and some protein and water, and that's it. That's mostly my post-workout drink. So that's what I usually do. Nothing too special.
I mean, without giving too much away about your program, what I noticed about your program was that the foods you suggested were like all the nutrients that I think if you get all your nutrients that your body demands daily, you will not, because your body only demands food for certain nutrients. So if you're getting all your nutrients in, even if it's in a condensed space like a smoothie or something, you're not going to be as hungry for the rest of the day, are you really? So
no, because like, for example, like the kale smoothie that I have for a post-workout, it's a lot. It's a lot of kale that I blend down, right?
Do you cook it?
No, it's just raw. Raw kale.
Oh,
and just blend it together. Just a kale smoothie. Kale with some protein powder and water. That's it. Very basic.
Oh my God, Korin, that must taste like garbage.
It's pretty earthy, but like it's the acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? Like the more plant-based you eat, the more your taste palates will change. You know what I'm saying? So if you're eating more junk, your taste palate is going to be more towards that. Like it's going to be more satiated towards sugary and saltier foods and fattier foods. When you start eating more plant-based, your taste buds are going to be more adequated to real food, So like for me, something that's very sweet for me is pineapples and mangoes and fruits, right? But if I eat candy, it's too sweet. If I drink soda, it's too sweet. And that's because I stopped drinking and eating that stuff a long time ago. Yeah. There's times I've even had pieces of chocolate and I'll buy a chocolate bar. Like my girlfriend bought me like 3 chocolate bars one time and I only broke a piece and I was satisfied because it was just so sugary. So it's artificial. So I was just like, man, this is real sweet. But when I was a kid, I would slam the whole bar. But as an adult, I only have a piece, and this is only because my taste palette has changed. Because the more you stay away from it, the more your taste palette started changing towards.
You know, that's so true as well. Because something I've noticed as well in recent years is you're quite right about that. If you start cutting out the junk and the sugar, certain things taste so much sweeter. I mean, I buy 70% dark chocolate now, and I get different ones. And even though it's bitter, I can taste the sweetness in it. Whereas when you're used to something being really sweet, that would just taste purely bitter to you, you know?
Yeah.
Muddy Paw says, what do you think to intermittent fasting, Korin?
When it comes to intermittent fasting, I'm not an expert in the field, but it's something that when it just comes, I like to generalize it more into like diets or different diet styles, because that's a diet style. If you can make it part of your lifestyle, then it can work. If you're just using it as a diet hack, it's not going to work. It will work for that moment, but then once you start back eating garbage again or eating back to normal, then you're going to put all the weight back on, because how your body metabolizes food, you're changing that 100%. You went from like 0 to 100, and you're going to realize like, well, I keep gaining weight every time I want to eat back normally. So because when people do intermittent fasting, they do it as a lifestyle. So, and that's with any diet. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be keto, it could be paleo, it could be vegan. Like whatever you do, it has to be a lifestyle, and it has to be something that you can consistently do for life. Yeah,
that's it. That's the key. This is the thing. Like, this is why I laugh at these Weight Watchers and fat camps and all this stuff. Is like, they're not helpful. You have to change your lifestyle. I now eat until I'm full every day, and I do not put 1 ounce of weight on. Now I'm back at the gym, and I'm trying to increase my calorie intake a little bit and my protein. I'm struggling because I am now at my natural level for food, which you took 12 months to train me down to. Yeah. But that's it. That's the key. It's got to be a lifetime commitment. Otherwise, because you've got this starvation effect as well, haven't you, Korin? Where this is why a lot of these dieters fail. Is because they'll starve their bodies for a couple of months, lose the weight, but then you've tricked your body into believing that you're in a famine. So when you do start eating normally again, your body puts on twice as much fat to protect against another famine coming in the future. Yeah, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Daniela says, I like to fast from dinner time till breakfast to give my digestion a break. I mean, is that really necessary? Does your digestion need a break? I did Slimming World for years on and off, lost the weight, but as soon as I stopped, I got back on. Whole food plant-based diet keeps me maintaining. Just need to tone up. So, yeah, I mean, toning up, Korin, what would you say? I mean, a lot of the ladies and a lot of the guys out there want to tone up. I mean,
toning up is the same definition as losing body fat. But a lot of coaches just go with it, and we'll use the word with you because we don't like getting too super complicated with vocabulary. But we're like, yeah, we'll tone you up, but it's just code and like lose weight, because the thing is that when you're looking for tone and definition, right? Because when people usually say tone, they kind of relate it to the same thing as definition, right? They want to see more like, definition, like, I'm not even flexing. You can see like my tricep. They want to see definition, right? So the thing is that the muscles is always there. You know what I'm saying? So when people, it's almost saying for example, like when a guy come up to me and say, I want to have a 6-pack, right? But the thing is, they already have a 6-pack. You just can't see it because it's covered with fat. So, and even guys would say, yeah, I just want to tone up so I can have a 6-pack. So it's like, no, you need to lose the body fat so you can be ripped, so you can have a ripped 6-pack, because we want to see it, and depending how tone or how defined you want to be is going to be determined on how low your body fat is. So the lower your body fat, the more tone and definition you're going to have. The more, I like using the word the more 3D you're going to look. You know, so if you have a soft six pack, that's a certain body fat percentage from that. But if you have a six pack like a Greek god, then it's like, or an action figure, that you probably have like very, very low body fat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the tone and definition means.
Definitely, mate, definitely. And this is what I mean. I used to see loads of lads in the gym, young lads, and they're doing sit-ups and like weight belts. And I'm thinking, look, this ain't going to give you a six-pack. The muscles are there. They're hiding underneath the layer of fat. Your stomach is your natural place to have a layer of fat. But could it be dangerous I mean, what's the limit on body fat? How low should you take it? What's the lowest you should take it just for everyday life?
Anyone could Google like these type of body fat charts. It looks very similar like this one I have here. And then it all determines on your age and it all really just determines on your age. So like it determines on your age and where you want to get at. So for example, on this chart, the green would be like healthy. All right. And then the blue would be more athletic. So obviously like the lower, like if you're here, like the first column, you know, it's pretty low, but I don't suggest most like the average person to be at that level, because they're probably not getting all the right nutrients unless you're someone who, like myself, who really pays attention and keeps track of everything you're doing. Because if you're just that lean and you're not really tracking and just eating what you want, you're probably missing some type of nutrient. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're experiencing, done this for a long time, like almost like what I have. So it really would depend. But for example, like with bodybuilders and stuff, they usually get into those single digits, and it's not something sustainable because it's so much work you have to do to stay there. You know, I mean,
I got down to 10%, didn't I? I think the very best I did was 10%, and that was a struggle. Because as soon as you get to like 16, 15, it just plateaus, and it really is a grind. So it is a really tough, especially at my age as well. Absac says if all intermittent fasting does is help with portion control. I did it for about half a year when I first got into fitness. Yeah, it may do. It may help you reduce the level of food you eat or whatever. But yeah, I'm not a big lover of intermittent fasting.
I'm not even an expert in it, so that's why I don't. I teach people how to live a lifestyle, and I teach mostly how to count macros. So it doesn't matter if you're in a deficit, trying to lose body fat, if you're trying to build lean muscle, or for maintaining. I teach people how to count macros. So when it comes to the calories has to break down into macronutrients, which is like your protein, carbs, and fats. And I show people how to build balanced plates that's going to be able to satisfy the total caloric intake. Because you can be, if we just say like for basic, like when I'm speaking in general, I say like, yeah, you need to be in a caloric deficit to lose body fat. But the thing is that even if you get MyFitnessPal, you use the free version and you put in your weight and you say you want to be in caloric deficit, you want to lose body fat, it's going to spit out like 1,200 calories. But what's going to happen is that you're just going to try to focus on the caloric intake. And when you do that, you might lose weight in the beginning, but on the long term, you're not going to get to your goals, because where you're getting your calories from will determine on your goals, because each macronutrient plays a significant part in your body. So like protein helps with repairing muscle, like that's the majority role. And then carbs and fat is energy sources, and they play a significant role as well. So depending where you're getting the foods from will determine on how you're going to get to your goals. And everybody's ratio when it comes to macronutrients is different, because it depends on their goals, what they're trying to, their activity level, and then also their body type. So like it does significantly play a significant role. And this is where like I come in and make sure you're getting the right nutrients that's going to be balanced to help you get to those goals the most optimal way.
Definitely. We've got Tony. I'm just going to add Tony to the stream. Hello, Tony. Tony, I've got no sound, brother. I've got sound, but you're very quiet. So if you turn the volume up. Somebody's asked Korin, while Tony's thing here, can we have a tour of the medals at the back? Someone's looking at all your trophies and the medals at the back. You know, your bodybuilding trophies and that? There we go, vegan something. Can we get a tour of Korin's medals on the wall?
well, it's on the laptop, and the laptop's connected to tons of wires, so I can't really move it. And since we're not on Zoom, I can't share devices. So, but
I'm sorry about that, Korin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I would, but like only thing I could do is just show you like that. And they're just all different trophies from bodybuilding throughout the years I've been doing it. The most recent ones is the medals on stable to the wall, and with the sword, that's the most recent one, which I won last year in October at the NPC Grand Prix. So I won that, and I got like first place in that show.
Nice.
So
nice.
But like, yeah, all the trophies you see is from the years of bodybuilding. I've been doing it for about 7 years.
Tony, can we hear you now?
Yeah, I switched over.
Perfect.
Right on.
So, Korin, have you spoke to Tony before?
I don't think so.
Right, Tony lost an absolute shitload. I hope you don't mind me saying this. An absolute shitload of weight. He was pounded the weight on, and he's stripped right down, and he's done an amazing transformation. What have you got to say about the Korin's sort of method? Is it very similar to your own, Tony? Or
say that last part. It was starting to fizzle out.
Have you been listening to us on the way home? I take it.
Yeah.
So what is it very similar to what Korin talks about that you've been doing yourself with your own journey?
Yeah. So the difference, or not difference, but I do include intermittent fasting, and like Korin was saying, if you have it applied as a lifestyle, then you can succeed at it. To where if you're just trying to look for a quick fad or a quick trend, it's not going to work. I agree with you 100% on that. I've been doing intermittent fasting consistently now for about 2.5 years. And I'm talking 7 days a week. It's not the 5-2 where it's like Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, it's just like let go of whatever. I'm like, this is the way I want to live. And so I've gotten so accustomed to it now to where it's like, it's just very natural for me to live this lifestyle. And I like to change it every day. I don't want it to be the same every day. I like to keep it, keep my body guessing.
Interesting. Question for Korin. Do you have a suggestion for protein powder, Korin?
Yeah, I mean, if you live in the States, then the Clean Green Protein, which is right here, I highly recommend this one, just because the difference between this protein versus the other ones that's usually in the market is this is one of the first or few protein powders that's not isolated. So you get 20 grams of protein just from the plant itself. And the plant we use is called lentine, as you can see on the bottom, right there. Mm-hmm. And lentine is a superfood. That's is what it is duckweed. It's like weed.
That's the B12. So that's the very first thing they discovered as B12 in naturally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're the first ones that actually put it into production. So you do get all your B vitamins, like all the micronutrients and stuff that you get in the back is from the plant itself. It's not fortified. So you get like your B vitamins, zinc, vitamin A, 7 grams of your dietary fiber, 40% of your omega-3, 6, and 9s. So this is something that's very useful. But if you don't live in the States, because we don't sell it, if you don't live in the States because we don't sell it outside the States, then I would say like probably like Vega or something like that. The one, because I do use Vega as well, and I use the one it's their new one that they came out. I think it's called Vega 1 or Vega Organic, something like that. And it's more natural. It's like natural ingredients, all organic ingredients. It's healthier, you know what I mean, versus the Vega that has artificial flavors and all that stuff. So I get more of the natural ones.
I don't know what my macros are till I add them into my fitness pal. How would you sort of preempt your macros? So we know that, for instance, mock meats, which I want to talk to you both about actually, something like the Iceland vegan chicken is high protein, low carbs, Rebecca. So it's something you've got to slowly pick up. Avocados are high fat. What would you say? How would you answer that?
Well, how to create your own macros?
No, she's struggling with. I don't know what my macros are till I add them to my fitness pal. So I think what she might be saying is that she's adding certain foods that she's eaten to, and then realizes, oh, that's high in fat, or this one's low in protein. I'm not sure.
No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, the thing is that when you work with a coach, we're going to provide you like your macros and all the foods to be able to hit those macros, or that's what a good coach should do, right? So like they should do that. Now, if you're just trying to do it on your own, it's going to take a lot of playing around, you know, like you have to, especially if you're just using MyFitnessPal to get your macros. So what you have to do is put in all the foods that you're actually eating that day to be able to hit it. Now, if you're trying to figure out your own MyFitnessPals, your own macronutrients, then there's different formulas out there. Like one of the formulas I have is in my cookbook, which you can download if you want to figure it out yourself, and you can go through that and push you through the formula, so you can put in your weight, you could times it by 10 or whatever, and do the breakdown according to your body type, activity level, all that stuff. And then there's other formulas out there as well. But here's the key, and I want to be honest with y'all. If you do it that way, it's a good start to get you started, but you will fall into a plateau, and then you will get stuck because two things. One is accountability, because you have to be consistent. You don't expect to lose a bunch of weight in 1 week and get to your goal after the end of the month. It takes time. So, and if you don't have accountability, or you end up giving up after 2 weeks, you probably want to give one of us a call, right, to get that assistance to keep you accountable. Second is that macros and calories changes as your body changes. So the more fat you lose, then the calories and the macros will have to be adjusted so you can continue to improve your body, because when your body changes, everything else changes as well. So because you're not going to be in a deficit forever either. So even if you got to your goals, you can't just stay in the deficit because you're afraid that you're going to gain weight. You have to slowly start adding calories back into your diet. So like, I could sit here and just talk about free advice, but it's really the same thing that you probably heard billions of coaches tell you, like, oh, do the formula, because there's so many different formulas out there. And then at the same time, if you don't see any progress, start adding 50 to 100 calories to your diet each day. We say this because it's basic stuff, the stuff you can Google. But at the end of the day, we want our money, right? I'm not afraid to say this in front of people. We want our money, because if you want to get to your goals, you have to pay us so we can give you the real secrets to get to your goals. And that's what a lot of companies and trainers are afraid to say. I'm afraid to say it. I know I have enough testimonials already. My business is booming. You know what I'm saying? I could show you results all day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care. I'll tell you straight up, you need to pay. And once you pay, then we can help you get to your goals a lot faster, because like I said, it requires a lot of accountability, and it requires you to actually learn about the nutrition and the foods that's provided to you. You have to learn it. You have to re-educate yourself about everything. Yeah, everything you know now doesn't matter. You have to re-educate yourself about all the food groups when it comes to being on a plant-based diet. And then you need adjustments as well, because as your body changes, everything else changes. This is why dietitians, nutritionists, we have jobs. This is why trainers have jobs, because this is what we do. But everybody wants a free, and cherry pick everything. You're just spinning your tires. Would you hire a plumber to work on your to work on your heart? No, man. You need a professional. Because if you try working on, would you try working on your plumbing by yourself, or just hire a professional? What's going to give you residual results? What's going to work?
I mean, Korin, I agree totally with you. And this is the thing about the societies we live in, is that I experienced your training program, and it's intensive, and you pay attention, and people don't realize there's a lot of time spent learning and time spent that they don't see the trainers behind the scenes doing what they need to do. And I agree with you totally. It's like in the acting world, there's a lot of people say, "Oh, come and do this day's acting for nothing. We'll give you some food and give you the," and it's like, well, hold on a minute. I've spent 4 years spending my spare time, my free time, my holidays, doing stuff, learning the trade, learning this, learning that, paying for schools, buying camp.
Yeah.
Why should I work for nothing? And yeah, unless you're a really strong-willed person, you need that guidance from somebody. So it's probably the best money you're ever going to spend. So I don't believe that people can really achieve things without that extra push, especially if they want something special. Taylor Marshall, Korin, how much protein do you aim for per day? Do you do protein powders? Well, I know the answer to one of those questions.
Well, I do about between 180 grams to 200 grams of protein per day. And I do take protein powders, but I like to add on to that. It wouldn't have been that different if I was eating meat either. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people like misconstruing that answer. They're like, "Oh, you need to take protein powders to get this protein intake." No, I don't. I could do it all through real food if I wanted to. I use protein powders because it's just more convenient and I'm busy. And it's just like any other meat eater, they drink whey protein.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like is no difference. You know what I'm saying? It's a supplement. It's for conveniency. So I like to add on to that.
Is that the one Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan uses? I think he uses the same protein powder. Yeah. What does 40-year-old vegan say? Commit to at least 30 minutes a day of your future self will thank you. Plus, people are watching us more than we know. Yeah, it is. We're in a society where body image is really under scrutiny. I mean, Tony, I don't know whether he's listening to music or not, or whether he's listening to us.
I'm listening to you guys, but my dog is barking in the background sometimes.
This guy's always dancing. Now you've been on both sides of the sort of the equation. You've been on the excessive side weight wise, and then you've been on the extreme stripped down, ripped to fuck. What you are now, just like totally. I mean, what % body fat are you now?
The last time I did a DEXA scan, and it read 8.1% body fat.
And it's that getting under 10 is the hard bit.
It seemed like it was. I wasn't really paying attention to it before. What I was looking at more was the number on the scale. But then I realized over the course of time, the number on the scale equates to a lot of different things. And so once I hit my goal for the number on the scale, which was just my own mind playing tricks, I started to look more at the body fat as well. And so when I did that, it's like, okay, now I'm encompassing that. And just like Korin said earlier, when, we all have that 6-pack, but underneath that, like underneath the fat is where you'll start to see it. So once you start dropping the body fat, and I paid attention to that a lot more. And when I saw 9.6 and then it went down again. And then the last time it was like 8 point something. Yeah. So
how did you, I mean, I know we've talked before, but there's people on this chat now who've probably never met Korin or yourself, Tony. What did you do to lose the weight initially? Did you see a trainer, or did you just Google? Did you just how did you start on your journey?
So the initial workouts that I learned, it came from my brother. And so he's like he's been doing it since he was 16. He's 55 now, and he's taught me a lot, right? So I just took everything that he taught me and applied it. And from there, as I was working out before, I would eat before I work out. But then I switched it up now, or, recently, to where all my workouts are fasted. So I do the fasted cardio and the fasted workouts. So I'm building muscle and burning fat simultaneously, and that's what made a tremendous difference.
Yeah, because I find that I run better and for longer when I'm fasted, and it's really I find that really strange.
Yeah.
I've got a question here from Taylor Marshall. Whoever wants to answer it, or you can both can answer it. I'm trying to build up my legs. Yes, isn't everybody, but can't squat because of knee pain. I've been doing a lot of dumbbell lunges with 30-pound dumbbells, very slow and controlled time under tension. Progress but slow. Any advice on that from either?
I guess I'll do it. Yeah, I mean, there knee pain could be multiple factors. You know what I'm saying? But usually one of the main issues, which is most common, is usually just bad form. You know, so if you can't do a squat because the knee pain, you feel knee pain when you're doing the squat, then it's probably your form of how you're doing the squat in the first place. So you have to go into something called corrective training to make sure that you're engaging the proper muscle groups that's actually helping you to do the squats. Because what most people do, for example, is when they're squatting, they probably lean forward and then they use their knees to try to push up their weight, and they're compensating, which creates the actual pain, versus using like the glutes and the quads and the hamstrings and fully engaging those. So that could be one. And then second could be tightness, you know, from other muscles and ligaments. It could be tightness in the quads, hamstring, calf, the foot. Like it could be a lot of other things that revolves around that. So because how the pain is coming from, is the pain coming like directly in the center? Is it coming laterally? Like a lot of that really depends. So but like I said, usually it's corrective exercise and stretching protocols,
and not go too heavy as well, because obviously I went back to the gym last week and I haven't done a squat in 12 months. However, I've been running, as you know, but I did my first squats with no weight, so I've just got a 20-kilo bar, and I'm not joking, I thought someone had baseball batted my legs the next day, and that was with zero weight. But it is true, you've got to get your form right, and putting weight on and doing your squats with weight on, and unless you've got that technique, you are going to hurt yourself, because you don't realize whether you're leaning forwards, backwards, sideways, putting more pressure on one leg than the other. So you've got to do it with zero weight, Taylor, I personally think. Tony, what's your thought?
Yeah. So for me, I have a different story just because I have back issues. So 3 bulging disc, a herniated disc, and a tear in my spine. So putting anything on my shoulders that compresses that could put me at risk. There's been a time where I reached for my gallon bottle of water and threw my back out again. So the squat technique for me is out of the picture. So I have to do alternate leg workouts in order for me to keep my legs built. So I will do leg press, but I want to make sure that it's not at an incline, because then that's going to compress my spine. I do it straight forward, right? And then I do hamstring curls, I do lunges, etc. But everything is at time under tension. It is lighter weight, but naturally I have big legs, so it's just a matter of making sure that they're, you know, being sculpted or formed. So those are the alternate workouts that I have to do.
I mean, it's like Korin says, when you do strip down, it's amazing, that optical illusion of. I mean, I lost, was it nearly 2 stone, Korin, with you? And I went into the gym 2 stone lighter, and people say, "Wow, you're looking big," and I'm thinking, I'm not big. You can just see the definition more, and it is amazing that. I mean, don't forget, folks, in case anybody have any doubts, both these 2 guys are vegan, and they've been vegan for a while, so don't have any doubt. This is totally vegan.
Yeah.
Oh, right, guys. Look, we've got experts here. Come on, get your questions up. You know, let's have a look. My booty has been a forgotten victim of this pandemic. Any tips? My gyms in my country are still mostly closed. I think she's in the Netherlands. So, yeah. How does she get that pert bum?
I could jump in on that one real quick. Just as a quick little pointer to start off with, there's a ton of YouTube videos that do a lot of home workouts. I see people doing the body squats to build the glutes. My wife, she does this, like she gets on all fours and she does like that little fire hydrant type of workout for the glutes. You can do a lot of stuff with bands to build the glutes as well. There's also this device that you can order, and it's like the hip thrust machine, but they use resistance bands. So those are things that you could do at the house while the gyms are still closed, to help build those cheeks, as I like to say. But those are just little quick tips that I would say. So Korin, it's all you, brother.
My answer is going to be similar to Tony's. It's just, you know, there is, like you said, tons of YouTube videos if you want to go down that route. But it really depends on how serious your goals are. So it kind of boils down to what I said before. It's like you could cherry pick and look up all these glute exercises, right? That can help you. But if you really want better results and optimal results, the best thing is to hire a coach. And depending on where you're trying to go with your results, like if your main goal is just glutes, then I don't know what Tony's specialties is, but you can hire like a glute coach. You know, there's coaches, especially tons of women coaches that focus on the glutes, right? So like you could do things like that as well. But if you're just cherry picking and just want like something that's you know, don't want to hire a coach or whatever the case can be, yeah, you can do what Tony said, like look up videos. There's tons of home equipments that you can buy, things like that. Like there's so much out there. That's so much free information. So, you know, that's going to be the best bet.
It's nearly 6:05, Korin. Are you okay? Do you need to go?
I'm okay. They didn't show up yet, but once they show up, then I'll have to go.
Okay, just give me a wave and go. If you can isolate a certain body part, I need a penis coach. I really do need a penis coach. I need to get some. I hope your family's not listening to. Oh God, I'm sorry, Tourette's, mate. Tourette's. Taylor Marshall's been on. Yeah, the knee pain. I'm dealing with this inner knee pain. I have very flat arches. I've had bunions on my big toes since I was a teen. I'm considering having surgery done soon because of the arthritis. How old are you, Taylor? Can you let us know your age or at least your decade? If you know what I mean. I don't want to pry too much, but let us know what age you are. Healthy Sweet Treats. Oh, this is a great page, guys, if you want to see some beautiful treats. They do some lovely stuff on there. Anybody else here doing home workouts and not going back to the gym? Well, I haven't done any home workouts. I hate working out at home. I need to go to the gym and commit, and then I know that I've driven all the way down to the gym. I've walked in the gym. I've got to do something to justify that. So, yeah, I'm never going to train at home. Thanks for the advice. I'm definitely going to look into coaches. Might be the literal kick in the butt I need. Well, Korin's here. Tony's here. They're both online coaches now. Do you do it online as well, Tony?
I do. Yes.
You do it online as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm. One thing I also wanted to add in to what Korin was saying earlier about the money part is that it's the time that we put in, right? It's the information that we give, it's the accountability, the motivation, the knowledge that we receive, but it's also the time that we put in, right? So if it's an hour call or if it's a 15-minute call, that's time away from either our family or from what we're doing in our daily lifestyle. And so to us, that's huge. And time is something we can't get back. So just wanted to throw that in there as well.
Yeah, totally agree, Tony. I mean, this is the thing, is people are too shallow. They've got these blinkers on and they only see so far. They see, oh, this trainer, he only works with me. He does me a little plan. It takes him 5 minutes and then he sends it on email. You know, what's hard about that? It's absolute bullshit. It's like Korin said, you know, you wouldn't question a plumber. You wouldn't say, oh, well, yeah, just tell us how to fix the radiator or the boiler. I'll do it myself. I'll Google it. I'll ask Uncle Google how to fix my boiler. You know, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Leon says, Korin, how do I get myself to exercise when depression and PTSD is kicking in me in the genitals again? Like, I do 100 jumping jacks a day nowadays, but I know I need to do more.
Yeah, I mean, there's two answers for this. So one answer is I always say, like, obviously, if you do hire a coach, right? Because like if you suffer from depression and PTSD, hiring a coach can help you, because most of it is going to be really just accountability. So because if you're suffering from that, anything that can disrupt you, you might make you unmotivated again. So having a coach can help. But I want to be very honest, this is where the second answer comes in. It depends how serious the mindset is, because I've actually turned people down with the same symptoms and told them that, highly suggested that, you should see like a psychiatrist or something like that, because
you're an sorry, Korin, to butt in, but you're an ex-Marine. You've seen action, and obviously you've seen PTSD at its core.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends who suffer from it. I suffer from it as well, but it's a little bit different in my case, because I know how to deal with it. So it's a lot. So it really depends on the level of your mindset. So because like I said, I turned people down myself, and with similar symptoms, and I told them, like, look, like, I can push you, but you have to be able to motivate yourself before anyone else can motivate you, especially if you have a psychological issue that's very strong. And you have to get the mindset right first before you even jump into a program like this, because the only thing you're going to do is just waste your money and time. And I'm not the type of guy that likes wasting your time, your money, or myself, especially if I feel that we're not going to get nowhere with it. So I tell people personally, like, look, like, you may want to see a psychiatrist or a life coach, someone that could really help you with the mindset, get that straightened out. And then once you got that straightened out, then jump into that, because like the fitness does help, but like I said, it depends how bad it is. And I don't know how bad it is. Yeah, because I've seen comrades where it's pretty bad. Like, no fitness coach is going to help that dude. Like, it's like you need help. Like, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, physical exercise does help, especially cardio. It does help mental health. Taylor Marshall, who we were talking about before with the arthritis and problems, he's 27. I've just had a quick look down, and he pretty much 100% plant-based. It was a phase I stopped for a bit because of gut issues, but I'm back plant-based. You see, that's the thing that people don't realise, is that animal products cause inflammation. And it's the reason that the Western diet causes arthritis. Old age is not a thing. There's no such thing as old age. We're supposed to keep on going as we've gone through our life, and then we die. The heart stops and we die. All this arthritis, Alzheimer's, cancer, stroke, it's not old age disease. It's food disease. It's our diet that causes all this shit. So I would say, Taylor, just sort your diet out to start with. Eat totally plant-based. Stay away from those animal foods, because they just will cause inflammation, and half your problems will be solved.
Can I touch on that real quick?
Problems. Yeah, sure, mate.
When I injured my back not too long ago, so I've been vegan for 5 years now. And doing that with intermittent fasting has helped change a lot of that when it comes to the inflammation, right? So one of the actual things that I went through was, when I went to go see the doctor, he projected 6 to 8 weeks of recovery time from my back, but he didn't know I was living a plant-based lifestyle as well. But I ended up recovering in about 5 weeks. And because of that inflammation not being there, the recovery was able to progress quicker than his projected 6 to 8 weeks. So when you do have the plant-based foods and you do allow your body to rest or recover more, that recovery is going to catch up a lot or progress a lot quicker. Also, when it comes to the dentist, right? When it comes to teeth cleaning, like, that stuff plays a huge role, because when you do take in the animal-based proteins and the dentist is doing the gum check and they count the numbers, mine used to be at 4, 5, and 6. Now they're at 3s and 2s and 1s, and I mean, of course, I want to take care of my teeth, but the inflammation has gone down from not including those animal-based proteins and that dairy. So it makes a huge difference, one with recovery and the inflammation to drop down.
You know, I do find it strange that, you know, because I have noticed my teeth. I mean, all right, I used to smoke and drink and everything, but I've noticed since I've been vegan, this is year 5 now, my teeth have gone whiter and are in better condition than they've ever been. And I've never connected it with the diet, but now you said that, Tony, it sort of makes a little bit of sense. Leon's come back to you, Korin. Sorry to interrupt. He said it's a combination from abuse from parents, homelessness, because he is homeless at the moment, she, a multitude of both physical and mental health issues. So it's rough, but I got to do something, right? Well, my personal answer is yeah, but I mean, Korin?
Yeah, you have to do something. I mean, you know, you have to kind of think and see. I'm not no psychiatrist, so like, you know, the advice I'm giving is just very basic knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but when it comes down to it, yeah, like you have to figure something out. If you think that the fitness is going to help, which will, I mean, I could say that like fitness and eating a well-balanced planned diet will help, okay? But it depends how bad it is, and only you would know. So if you feel that the nutrition and exercising is the route to go, and you think that's going to help, then do it. You know, if you think that right now your mindset is too dark, then find professional help for the mental case. You know, the mental issues. You know, but that's the only thing I could really say. You know, truthfully, is that, or you know, if you're saying, she said he's homeless.
Yeah.
So if finances is a thing, try just eating healthier. You know, try eating more of a plant-based diet. Try to do home workouts. I mean, you don't need any equipment. You can use your own body and stuff like that. You know.
Sorry, yeah, Leon is non-gender, so it's they, them. I'm really sorry about that. It's just habit, and I'm an old guy, so I keep doing this. Yeah, Leon, personally, I mean, I've had issues as well, and I find that the more time you've got to dwell and think on things is the more time you're going to go into that dark place. So if you can occupy your mind with watching what you eat, looking up recipes, doing exercise, I think that gives you less time to sort of dwell on things that are really stirring up emotions in your mind. But like we said, we're not psychiatrists. I've not got much personal experience with PTSD. I know a few people who've got PTSD, but I've never seen them on the dark side because obviously they don't want to come out and socialize when they're in that dark environment. But yeah, sorry about that, Leon. You can slap me next time you see me. Taylor Marshall, yeah, diet is really important. I notice when I'm not eating enough greens, just more inflammation. I was going to take a deload week, but ate healthier the past week. Was able to train hard today. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Working out at home as well. 20,000 intensive weighted steps daily. Stage 4A cancer. I have no time for that. Yeah, because Ekaterina is actually a cancer survivor. She's still not in the clear yet, but yeah, she's really grafting. And this lady, by right, should be sat down and just relaxing and not doing anything. But she works hard. She trains hard. She's a real inspiration.
That's a story in itself, man.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
a whole story that I would hate to pronounce your name wrong. Ekaterina?
Ekaterina, yeah, Katya for short.
Katya, that would inspire so many people right now. I read that and I'm just over here like, whoa, and so many people would be inspired just by hearing that. That's a story.
I'm going to get her on soon when she's up for telling me the story, and yeah, we can chat about that. So guys, let's just talk a little bit about the way people have got used to eating that little bit more. because boredom leads to the fridge walk and the cupboard walk and the biscuit barrel walk and the chocolate walk inside the house. And people have been locked down. Mental health isn't good. We all know that eating is a good crutch for feeling down or pissed off or lonely or whatever. So what would be the best idea for people who are not after stripping down to 8% body fat? They're not after getting the body of a Greek god. All they want to do is just repair the damage that they've done over this last 12 months. They just want to lose a little bit of weight. They don't want to start weighing all the food. What's the best advice that you could give them to sort of what sort of foods to eat when in the day? What do you think? Do you know what I'm getting at, or do you want me to rephrase it?
Yeah, I understand. But Tony, you want to go?
I was gonna go after you. This is.
He wants to hear you. He wants to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to these situations, and I can understand when boredom can lead to, I guess, junk food eating or unconscious eating. The thing you want to do is first you have to recognize the habit. Okay, so it's like if you see yourself that every time I watch Netflix, I eat M&Ms, and you notice that, then you want to stop doing that and then try to find something that's more active or proactive to do throughout your day so you're not bored. So this all depends on how your family household is. So if you have a family, maybe do like board games or take a walk outside, do things that's more active, right? So you're not just home sitting around just eating a bunch of junk food, like do things that's more proactive. If you ever feel stress and you're a stress eater because you're stuck in the home, find other things that's going to help with the de-stress. Don't just go straight to food, right? Because what's going to happen is, the food does make you feel better at that moment, but then you do pay the price later because, let's say you just slam a bunch of chocolate or something like that. All it does is just boosts up your glycogen levels, your blood sugar levels. It's going to make you feel good. But then after that, you're going to crash and then you're going to feel even worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a temporary high. You know what I mean? So you want to find things that's going to really help with the stress, like meditation, take a hot bath, take a hot shower, like seriously, like things like that. That's really going to help with the stress, read a book, even when you're following with social media, because this is stuff that I actually teach my own students when it comes to psychological things, where it comes to like connection with food and stuff like that. I always tell people that, social media plays a big role too, because if you're following a bunch of vegan chefs and vegan foodies that always regurgitating like junk food, that's why the only thing you're doing is you're putting that image in your mind. So anytime you have that feeling that you're hungry or you're stressed, you want foods that's very similar like that. So I always say, like, unfollow those guys, because they're not really doing any justice, just showing you a bunch of junk food anyways. So they're not really doing any justice. Like, like I think the only purpose for those type of people is to show you that you can have a guilty pleasure and be vegan. That's all they're there for. And that's why they get a lot of likes and they get a lot of followers. Why? Because it's porn. That's all it is. It's food porn. It's food porn. Literally. When you put hashtag food porn, that's exactly what you're doing.
Listen, the way you said food porn then was porn. I'm telling you now, mate. The way you said that then. Say it again for me. One more time.
Food porn. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So it's like, and you get addicted to it. Just like regular pornography. A lot of men, a lot of women are addicted to pornography. But the only difference is you're addicted to food. So you're just gurgitating, swiping, looking at all this junk food. So you're enticing the mind to that every time you're stressed or something like that, you want to move to that stuff. So I always tell people, you want to unfollow these people and then follow people that's encouraging better habits, better lifestyle habits, So if you follow me, you're going to see nothing but like tofu scrambles and smoothies and stuff like that. And I want to tell you stuff like, hey, you feel stressed, read a book. You know, you see, and then you're going to see on my story, I'm posting books like, hey, look, I got, what's his name? David Goggins. You Can't Hurt Me. Good productivity. You're going to see me showing books like, like this one, How Not to Die, by Dr. Michael Greger. You see me posting stuff like that, not a bunch of nonsense, And if you're real bored, look at this book. I think that whole book will serve your whole entire life. All right, things bigger than the Bible, man. Like it will freaking entice the mind, and you will learn so much stuff from it. Yeah, if people know David Goggins, you know what's up with that dude. Like you have a problem in your life and you feel like life is going down, read that book. Yeah. Read that book.
I mean, I find the danger time for me is I'm very careful what I eat. I've got a couple of questions for you both after as well, but I'm very careful what I eat. But what I find is once we finish this stream, I'm going to eat my evening meal, right? But after that, when it gets to about 9-10 o'clock, I'm sort of like, I fancy a bit of toast and marmalade now. I fancy that bit of chocolate. It's that roll up to bedtime. What's the antidote to that? I know you once told me, Korin, that you should have most of your fats as your last meal so that it'll satiate for longer. Does that still stand, or?
It depends. Like it really depends on the goal and what you're trying to do. Because now I swap, because like for people with weight loss, I would say have fats because it is high calorically, it burns slower. But like for someone like in my case, I keep my carbs near the end of the night. And I usually do I usually do most of my carbs at night, and not even at night. I usually eat early throughout the day. Like I eat my last meal like at 4 or 5, and that, because what happens is when you have those carbs, and especially at 4 or 5, you won't run into indigestion. You know what I'm saying? And you feel better at night. Now, if I have a craving, I usually move like into like a protein thing, or just drink some tea. Like I'll just try to kill the craving because I don't want to have anything in my stomach. Because what happens is if you have something like artificially sweet before going to bed, it's going to disrupt your sleeping patterns. Yeah, because again, you're shooting up your blood sugar levels, and it's like a natural high. So it's like you're taking like a little energy boost before you go to bed, while your mind and your body's trying to shut down. So it's not good. You're going to disrupt your sleep that way. So it's not the best thing to do. And then what happens is that if you start associating again with association, if you do that one time and you have like a piece of chocolate at night, more than likely you're going to keep doing it again, because you're going to always feel that every night you're going to have that craving, and you're going to keep associating chocolate. So it becomes a habit. And then next thing you know, you're not getting to your goals. So it really depends. It really depends on the goals and what you're trying to achieve when it comes to that.
I've just put the Instagrams of both Korin and Tony. So if any of you guys want to reach out to Korin or Tony after the stream with a view to maybe getting some coaching, that's the best way to get a hold of you guys, yeah?
Yes. For me, yes.
Cool.
And by the way, speaking of food porn, don't go on my page. Stick with Korin's page, because I post some stuff on there. People are like, for real, that's vegan? Hey, I've had people at the gym look at my food and they're like, I would try that. And they're like, there's no way I could go, but they look at it and they're like, I'd try that, right? And so it's just, but if you're looking for that, the clean eating and having that while you're at home, then yeah, for sure. I totally get what Korin's saying. Check out his stuff.
Right, now this is the question I've got for both of you guys. So mock meats. Now there's a lot of bad press about vegan mock meats, right? But not all mock meats are really that bad. So how do we distinguish between a good sort of mock meat, like say a vegan chicken, a vegan sausage, a vegan hot dog, a vegan burger? How do we distinguish? What's the key thing to look for on the packaging or in the ingredients to distinguish whether something is not too bad? Questions out there?
You want to go, Tony?
Yeah. So when it comes to having the mock meats, one thing I do not do is consume it every day. I like to usually get my source of protein from all the earth foods, right? So the lentils, the nuts, the seeds, the greens, etc. That's where I usually start at, and that's what I take in more consistently. What I do look at though, when I do have my mock meats, is I look at for me personally, I look at the amount of fat that's in there. The protein, it is what it is. I'm not really, for me personally, I'm not really concerned with like, oh, it's 21 grams versus 19. I'm going to get my protein in anyway, but I do look at the fat, and then I also look at the label and see what they're actually putting into that mock meat. And that's, in a nutshell, that's what I would say for me.
And for me, it's pretty similar, like Tony. But the first thing I actually look at is that, like Tony said, is the ingredients. Now, when you're reading that ingredient label, one rule of thumb is that if you can't pronounce it, then you want to be pretty, you want to be pretty aware with that. Okay. That's number one, because if you can't pronounce it, it's some type of chemical. Okay. Number two is how they list it in the ingredients list, because when it comes to the actual ingredients, the first 2 or 3 ingredients that they put onto that into the ingredients label is what they use the most. So if you see the first ingredient is some type of weird name that you can't pronounce, you probably want to stay really far back from that. Okay. And if you see that it goes from ingredient 2, ingredient 3, ingredient 4, maybe the whole thing you can't read, then that's something that you want to stay away from. And it doesn't matter how good it might taste or how well it looks, you probably want to stay away from it, because the thing is that you're just putting a bunch of chemicals in your body, and you're the science experiment, and this is not just with mock meats, this is with any type of packaged food product. So that's what I really pay attention to. Now, if it's foods that you can understand, like for example, seitan, when you see seitan, it says vital wheat gluten, water, and soy, then okay, I can read that. It's only 3 ingredients, and especially it's so short, I could do something like that. And that's something that you can do probably more consistently. But if it's like a long list and especially words you can't pronounce, just stay away.
Yeah, I mean, I've just put this up now, and this is breaded chicken, right? This is real chicken. It's 58% chicken breast. Yeah. Look at the rest of the ingredients: refined soybean oil, water, modified tapioca, rice flour, cornstarch, sugar, salt, acidity regulators, citric acid, raisin agents, diphosphate, sodium hydrogen carbonate. And if you look at the nutrition table, 1.8 grams of saturated fat, 10 grams of fat, carbohydrates 18.2, 1.1 gram of fiber, 15 grams of protein. I'm just trying to find the vegan version from the same place just to compare.
Well, I mean, you could even use that one for example, because it says it's chicken strips, and it says 58% of it is chicken, right? So it's like that right there is already like a little red flag, because what was the chicken? Was it only 58%? Like how can the chicken be 58% chicken? Like, am I 58% human? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things you have to ask questions about, and you have to really look deep into that. And then when you see all the other ingredients, it's what they cut it with, or maybe it's just the product itself. Maybe they're saying just with the product itself is 58% chicken, and then since it's breaded, everything else is that. I don't know, but what I do know is this: some places and some packaged products, they do use wheat and soy or TVP to cut meat to make it cheap. So it's cheaper because they can stretch it. They can
Yeah.
stretch the product and then still give a better value. So this is something that's very common, not just in packaged products, but also in restaurants as well. So sometimes you can get like a hamburger from a restaurant and it's not really 100% beef because they cut it with like TVP, like TV texturized vegetable protein is a very commonly used for cutting meat.
Yeah.
And you see, look at this in comparison now. Look at the ingredients list, and I'm already being able to see natural ingredients. These are the chicken strips, Korin, that you enjoyed when you come over to the UK.
Yeah.
And it's flavored, textured soy protein.
Yeah, the TVP. Yep, that's
TVP, sunflower oil, salt, flavoring, spices, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you look at the nutrition table, it's only 2.8 grams of fat, only 0.3 grams of saturates, hardly any carbs, and it's 23 grams of protein. It's just like, and that's for 100 grams, and it's there. It's like, they're not brilliant for you, but they're nowhere near as bad as the animal version, So it's a good idea. So the best thing to do is to look for the fat content, for the saturates, to see how much fiber is in it. There's even 8.1 grams of fiber in those chicken strips. So
Protein.
What are people saying?
I'm actually
Leo. Sorry. I want to be strong, not bulky. What would you be a good fitness regime to follow to get to that point?
He wants a bulk.
He doesn't want to be. Sorry, Leon. I keep saying it. They want to be strong, but not bulky. So they want to be strong, a bit of power behind them, but not walking around carrying carpets, as we say over here.
What's strong? Like just build muscle, or just strength?
I think it's more like
build muscle.
Like how can I say? Like the world's strongest men guys. They are sort of like they've got strength, but they're not like sort of ripped. They're big men, but they're not ripped. So I think Leon is more towards just building strength, just push the car, pick up the shopping, and walk.
It could be. It depending on the goals.
Not body sculpture.
It could be a combination of functional training. It could be a combination of calisthenics, combination of hypertrophy training, which is bodybuilding training, that can help with all of that. Just pick one that fits best for your lifestyle. You can even do all three if you want. Just pick something that's going to fit your lifestyle, and then at the same time be consistent with the program. But when it comes to like how you want your body to look, that's going to also play a role in the food as well. So the food does play a significant role in that. So like if you're trying to build lean muscle mass, the workouts does play a role, but then you have to be in like a caloric surplus, so you can be able to build on muscle, not muscular but strong. So if it's just then just strength training, then you want to do stuff like that, strength and conditioning.
I mean, if you want to smell strong, just don't wash for weeks. It works for me every time. 40-year-old vegan says, vegan something says 40-year-old vegan true the label's not right. Hang on, there it is. Right, yeah, they don't list the drugs, chlorine, antibiotics, etc. on animal flesh products. Correct. They don't tell you all this.
Nobody will buy it.
No, exactly. Nobody would buy it, especially if they tell you the B12 is a supplement that's given to them. Taylor's back on. You guys have any tips on building up traps? I'm doing dumbbell shrugs with 50 pounds. Currently doing 3 times 15. I do bend my arms a bit. Should I focus on time under tension? I started training my neck as well. Yeah, it's a funny one that because. That's a bit rude, you ass. I'm homeless. Oh dear. I'm always putting my foot in it. Building up traps is like, I don't know. It tends to come with everything else. Traps. I mean, I found isolating traps is a bit of
Well, back exercises help.
Yeah.
Some of the back exercises like reverse flies activates the traps. Then you have the shrugs. You could try different variations of time under tension. For example, like more higher reps. So then doing your normal routine 8 to 12 reps, you could bump up the reps to 15, bump up the reps to 30. Do more stuff like that. So you could do combinations of high reps. You could also do billions of trap exercises, and what else is there? And certain shoulder exercises that engages the trap as well. So it's just going to be a combination of all this stuff. But again, it's just going to take time, because when it comes to building muscle on by itself, it just takes a long time and it takes a lot of patience to build on a lot of muscle mass. Because, for example, it takes about at least a year for an average person to put on at least 10 to 15 pounds of lean muscle mass, and this is like with intense and consecutive training, and with proper and following a proper nutritional diet.
You see, the thing is as well, Korin, is people don't do a proper exercise either. You've seen these guys doing these exercises and these exercises, and the thing is, Taylor, is that if you're doing your shrug exercises, if you've got weights that you need to be like practically touching your ears, and if you're getting weights where you can only go like that, then you're doing nothing, and it's all stop. What people have got to stop doing in the gym is like ego lifting, and that's what you see a lot of people in the gyms do, and it's ego lifting. They'll go and put like 7 ton on the leg machine, and you'll see them pushing it like that, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's the key with anything, is you've got to get that full range of movement in there. Sorry, is that thunder? Is it Korin just being a pain in the ass?
No, it's just the mic.
But yeah, it is though. I mean, you both nodding your head. You agree? It's that you see a lot of ego lifters, and it's not about the weight. It's about doing a full range of movement. That's where you're going to trigger hypertrophy and all the other sort of little knickknacks that you can do down at the gym. Mix up the exercises. You plateau after a while. Yeah. That's one thing Korin always does in the program when I work with Korin, was every month it changed completely. And it was like, I'd just get used to it. And then he'd go, right, you're not doing that anymore. You're doing this shit. And I'm like, what? I've just got used to that.
Well, I want to be honest before we go. I want to be honest. The reason I switch it up every month for the students is because regular people want different things all the time. You know what I'm saying? But people who's really like athletes, they can follow the same program for a very long time. And you still get significant results. I feel like there doesn't have to be that much changing in the exercise program, really. But if I made it a way how I actually do it, people get bored. They get so bored, and they would assume that I'm just being lazy.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. I mean, I accept that honesty from you, Korin, but also the person doing the exercise. I mean, all right, some people would be okay going to the gym doing the same thing day in, day out for a year, but to make it interesting, you've got to change it up a little bit, and it does sort of. I mean, sometimes you can go in and you've lifted a shitload of weight and you feel nothing. Yeah, you can go in the week after and change your exercise around and lift very light weights and then be in agony for days.
Textbook is something called periodization training. That's like textbook. And when you do periodization training, it's like you plan out the workouts for the whole year. This is how by textbook how coaches are supposed to do it, right? And how it works is like we plan it out throughout the whole year, and each, depending on X amount of months, because it can vary. Usually the average is like every 3 months or every 4 months, right? They switch it up. So let's say first quarter, right? You're just starting, you've never been into the gym at all. So we'll do more like corrective training, and working on basic compounds. That's the goal, right? Just to work on form and technique. Then after that, we work on more of a functional base to work on more of the conditioning part. And then after that, then you move into hypertrophy. Like that's how it is textbook. But see, textbook doesn't always equivalent to real life, because what happens? People get bored as hell. They want more. They want their mind to be
stimulated,
and not everyone's athletes or robots like that. So this is why I change it every month, because I know like how it really boils down to, like, if we're talking about physiology, but at the end of the day, like, if I threw the book away, like, doesn't matter what you do. Nah, like, what really is the biggest part is going to be the food. That's why you one thing you're going to know about me is I talk about food more than the exercise, because like I said, it plays the biggest part, like with the growth, with everything, because I've tested it out. I've seen other people do different theories that's beyond textbook. There's a lot of things that you learn in bodybuilding that just works. That's not in textbooks. Like, like, for example, like, if you want to grow your legs, do squats every day for a month. Like, I've seen it work. I've seen people get jacked freaking legs doing, that's all they did was squats every single day. But textbook, it says there's something called super compensation. So once you work out, you're supposed to wait between 48 and 72 hours to get the significant growth. But then explain the dude who did squats every day for a month, who got his quads up to like five more inches, and that's a lot. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
because I've never sort of had any. I've had my legs grow. I'm very long-legged. My legs are 34 inches long, so I'm like, my inside leg is 34. So I'm 6'1" and I'm tall and lean. So I'm a very lean guy, and I've been running for the last 12 months during lockdown. I've been running, and I've seen vast improvement in my leg size. My jeans are getting tight on me now, and that's just through running 3 times a week, but distance, a lot of distance. So yeah, there's not a one size fits all, definitely, but there is a core thing that you've got to do, and I think you both mentioned this, and it's consistency.
Yeah, it comes down to that, really.
Yeah.
I mean, do you differ in any way in your techniques, Tony? And do you differ from Korin in any way that you've sort of learned from this conversation?
Nope. Pretty much everything that Korin's talked about, I'm pretty much the same way. One thing that I do add in, along with the food that we take in, is sleep. Sleep to me is key. To me, that comes number one before the actual food, because personally, if your sleep is jacked up, it messes all your hormones up, right? And you tend to go into more of the junk food. You tend to like do the opposite of what you want to do. If you're getting 3-4 hours of sleep a night, your body's not well rested, but everything else that Korin talked about with the food and all that, yeah, absolutely, for sure, 100%. I'm online with him with that.
40-year-old vegan in Canada is saying, any tips on growing tiny raptor arms? Like, can I do them every day, or would it be better with less? So it's bicep, tricep, innit?
I mean, when it comes down to the biceps, first you have to think about the muscle, and this is pretty much with any type of growth with particular muscle groups, right? But you have to just understand it. So first you have the biceps. So how many muscles does it have? Biceps, 2, right? So 2 muscles. So that means you have to do workouts that's going to stimulate both at the same time. So like, first you got, like, if we're just talking basic here, you have your basic bicep curls. So that's one way. But then you have the hammer curls, which is another, because each variation is going to actually target both sides of those muscles. And then the same thing with the triceps, there's 3. So you want to do, again, different variations that's going to target all the parts of the tricep head, right? So you have like your regular tricep pull downs, then you have overheads, things like that. So like you want to find out which workouts when it comes to your and this is where coaches come in, because people think because we could just say, there's Google and just pick up pick up workouts. And this is why I say, like, yeah, I mean, if you want to just grow your glutes, you know, like the lady who said about the glutes, like, yeah, you could do that, but you can hire a professional because there's something called program design, right? And when coaches work on the program, we're just not throwing workouts. It's not what you think. It's not like we just take workouts, put it together, and then give it to you. There's an actual science behind it. That's why I have a degree back here. The one on the very top is an exercise science degree. We learn about the physiology of how the body moves so you can get optimal results. This is why people get, if you check on my page, tons of testimonials. It's like people get results very fast because there is a science behind it. And it's like I said, if you're trying to grow your chest, there's 4 parts you have to hit: upper, medial, lower, and lateral. All right, that's what's going to actually help. If you're just doing tons of push-ups, you're not going to grow your chest. You can grow it, but will it be fast? Probably not. If you're doing different variations of the chest workout, flies, upper, regular, flat bench, declines, you're going to get better results because you're hitting that muscle in all different directions you're hitting all directions of that muscle. You know, you're hitting each part of that muscle differently. So that's what's going to optimize the growth. So it's with like every muscle is going to be like that. Quadriceps, there's 4 quads. You know, different movements is going to activate, different workouts is going to activate the legs. Danny could tell you, I had him doing the 3 variation squat. His legs felt like it's going to fall off.
Oh my God! Let me tell you about this. Oh my God! If I was like this, Korin Sutton, I fucking hate you, man. I fucking hate you. And all it was on the leg press. One was like that, one was like that, and one was like that. The one like that, I felt like my hips were going to pop out of my fucking skull, man. Jesus, my God. It was an absolute, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Just subtle differences of feet placement can have such an effect. And this is what people miss. They go to the gym, they watch other people at the gym, and they see them pushing up. That's it. But they don't see them doing it this way. And then they don't see them doing it that way. They don't see these little subtleties and nuances that happen in the gym. So, there's more to it. There's more to it. Taylor says, I train primarily calisthenics. Need to start working my upper chest. Have lower chest, but upper is like a pancake. And again, a lot of that is about nutrition as well, though, Taylor, because do you know how much protein you are getting? I can bet the odds that if you're not weighing your food or you haven't got a tracking app, you have no idea how much protein you are eating. And that is key. Thanks for the useful info, guys. We'll send you the check in the post. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I mean, that's another side of it as well, guys, is a lot of people don't know what they're actually eating. Even bodybuilders down at the gym. I'll ask them, I'll say to them, how much protein are you having? I'm having about 30, 40 grams. And what they mean is, that's how much is in the protein shake. You know? They've no idea. They've no idea. So it is very important to have that coaching, to have that commitment. Otherwise, you're going to get nowhere, definitely. Mm-hmm. So listen, if there's no more questions, I think we're going to wrap it up because I've took your time enough now, Tony and Korin. But I'm just going to pop up Korin and Tony's pages. So please give Korin Sutton a follow on Instagram. Please give Tony Drake a follow. I'm going to pop up the pages now just for you to have a little look to know what you're looking for. So the first one is Korin's page. Some handsome guy on there with a beard, look like me. Oh, it is me. There's Korin Sutton. Please give him a follow, and then if you decide you want to take up a personal trainer, someone who's going to give you results, please get in contact. And the same goes for Tony. So I'm just going to share this screen.
You can show them the transition photo, the transformation photo. That's what has hit a lot of people. It's if you go down
your personal
right there,
one.
you go back up a little bit to the right, up a little more. The next one up, right there. Yeah.
So yeah, there is Tony when he was, let's just say, twice the man he is now, in the negative way, and that is amazing. That is amazing.
And no juice, no gear, no none of that. I don't play with that stuff.
How long did it take you to get to that stage, Tony?
So I went around twice. I lost weight, and then after retiring from professional wrestling, I put a lot of it back on. And then round 2, which is current, I was able to drop 62 pounds in 7 months, but then also build muscle at the same time. So it pretty much it took a lot of consistency. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we said keep away from. But that looks delicious, and that doesn't look really sort of. I mean, it might be a little bit fatty, but it's not new. Oh, look at them jeans, man! Look at them jeans! Wow, we could have a party in those now. But listen, please give Tony a follow, and again, take a look at his programs. I'm sure he can help you if you decide you want some help. But listen, thank you so much, guys, for coming on, Tony, Korin. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been really informative. I think a lot of people are inspired now. Toby says, "Yep, I will definitely follow both." Yeah, it's been awesome. Please spread the word, guys, as well. Please get Korin's cookbook. If you're struggling with your food, have a look at that. It's a download. Vegan Pixie Warrior managed to download it. It's only a tenner. It's nothing. You know what I mean? Or if you don't fancy it yourself and you want to stick to Tony's junk food sort of diet that he's got there, then Tony says incredible transformation, Tony.
Thank you.
But listen, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the stream, people. It's been a pleasure having you all on. And yeah, please be consistent. Please be consistent. Get yourself a trainer. And it'll be the best move you've ever done if you want that dream body. So I'll end it there. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. See ya.
Both.
Peace.
All right. Thank you, guys.